welcome back to Higher Talk. Wow, guys, we are in a completely different setting today. It's such a vibe. I was invited by Pouch Six Studios to come through and record Higher Talk, and I'm so excited to be here, guys. This is the first official setting we've ever had for Higher Talk. What? Let's get it. But you already know, let's get into this motherfucking show. All right, welcome and welcome back to Higher Talk Podcast.
Take pressure, then you're not a diamond. I push through the struggle and level up out of my pain.
We're just a bunch of stoners having a round table conversation. You know, it's innately gonna lift you spiritually, mentally, physically. And, you know, we're really just here to lift the vibrations of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about elevation. And I am here alone today. I know a lot of you guys tuned in with me back in 2020 when I originally launched Higher Talk, and it was just me, you know. And then season 2, first person we have is Cakes, you know, as our special guest, and we're gonna have way more, you know, guests coming on the show. I'm gonna introduce you guys so many new people. I'm so excited about it. But I wanted to come on here and just hang out with y'all, just me and you. So today's topics are going to be the journey. We're going to talk about the journey and overcoming. I wrote it down in my notes, guys. And overcoming false beliefs about yourself. So today I'm really going to focus on the personal development portion. I know that I've been so MIA, and like you guys are probably like, "Oh my God, where have you been, Brittany? Like where's Moneybags?" You know, and I've been working, y'all. I've been working. I've been doing things. I'm now located in Austin, Texas. I'm no longer in San Francisco, so everything is so different out here, guys. It's so different, and I don't even like I'm just so happy to be here. So I'm so happy and grateful. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. But anyways, let's get into the show. As you guys know, we're starting a tradition. So we're going to do an oracle pull from our Empath's Oracle deck to start it off. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to get into the show. So I kind of already staged and shuffled these at home, but we'll just do a couple more shuffles and get in the zone. Yo, I'm really excited to actually like be here because this is my first actual like studio session that I've ever had with a podcast. And you know, like a lot of my growing up, so kind of where I started, I know I don't talk about this with anybody and I haven't really shared too much about it, but how did I start? So here's my journey. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. I moved to California around 2017, I would say. And then like the end of 2017 and then 2018, was there for 4 years, really involved in the cannabis industry and growing and developing my event company, all of that. And then I moved here to Austin, Texas, and I've been here since end of 2020. End of 2020, I came here to Austin, Texas. You're like, what the fuck do you do? Well, a lot of you guys may know this. Some of you guys don't know this. I'm a dancer. I have Elevated Productions, which is, we do UGC content creation for brands and businesses all throughout the United States. And we also host launch events. So if you have a brand or a business and you guys have a new product that you want to launch, or you know, you want to get out there and put your name in front of as many faces as possible, I'm the person who will plan the event, a networking event for you to do exactly that. And it's a vibe, honestly. Llama Gang, you already know. So yeah, and I also have Vibrite CBD. I launched Vibrite CBD out here in Austin a couple of years ago. I kind of put it on pause right now because we are going through some transitions, which is really exciting because Austin is kind of, you know, making really, really fast progress in the cannabis space in it itself. But in general, like CBD, I love CBD, but I realize a lot of you guys are stoners like me, and obviously because, yeah, but it was cool for a while, and like really showcasing the athletes and getting out there and being here. You know, I felt really disconnected from the tribe, and so I took a step away to really just focus on Elevated Productions and myself. And yeah, this is where we are. I was like, dude, I need to relaunch Higher Talk. So here we are relaunching Higher Talk. But anyways, let's get into this fucking Oracle poll. Let me shut the fuck up. It's been a minute since I've been with you guys, so I'm really excited. Thank you for having me here, Pouch Six. This studio is really fucking beautiful. So just energies for today would be nice. So if you guys don't know how Oracle works, I explained it in episode 1 of season 2 along with Patty, and I put the definitions there. So if you're interested in learning more about Oracle and what it is, not only can you Google it, but you can also just go back to that video and watch, and you'll get a little insight on it. But so basically, I'm just gonna shuffle until I feel like the vibe is right. You feel me? I guess I don't really know how to shuffle that great. I'm a little nervous. All right. So I got 2, which I'm not going to take both of them, but I will read them to you. It says invoking guides, gods, and guardians, and then establishing emotional boundaries, which is cool because, yeah. But I am going to do a poll. So today is examining self-identity, card number 22. So let's read from the book really quickly. We'll talk a little bit about it, maybe like 5 minutes, and then we're going to get into our topics, all right? So 22, which I really love that number. If you're into numerology, you'll know why. So the essential themes of this card are questioning the roles and labels and titles in our lives, valuing our uniqueness and respecting that of others, and remembering that we're all one at the end, which is, yeah. So the deeper meaning of this card is modern culture is a big fan of labels and identities. On one hand, this can be empowering for a person who has struggled to belong all their life. Look at the term empath. For example, what an empowering term. This term helps us understand our nature, although for some people it sets them apart from others. Keep in mind that everyone is empathetic and to one degree or another. This is our biology, our physiology. This leads me to say that we cannot blame everything in our lives on being empath any more than we can on our zodiac sign. Labels don't have to be divisive. Yeah. It is encouraging that in so many cultures that we are allowed to be ourselves and identify as who we feel ourselves to truly be. It has been a long, hard road to establish the reality of diversity in the modern world. Naturally, this comes with social challenges, and while it is simply part of the territory, sometimes it takes time and compassion to bring others to our level and help them understand. The term ego is not necessarily a negative one, which I've talked about this in a lot of my posts on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram at moneybagsbrit with 3 T's, give me a follow. I also have moneybagsbrit with 2 T's, but that account is flagged because cannabis. So I just been posting on moneybagsbrit with 3 T's. Give me a follow. The term ego is not necessarily a negative one. If someone is egotistical, that's different. The ego itself, psychologically, relates to our self-identity. There's nothing wrong with this because in part of our beautiful rainbow of human nature. As long as no one is being harmed, we should feel the allowance to proudly be ourselves, whoever we are. Gender, racial, sexual orientation variances are part of the rainbow spectrum that we are finally beginning to socially align with in this day and age. However, this card is not restricted to the things that will pertain to different meanings for different readers or clients who draw this card. So, you can see this however you want is really what it's saying. When mindfully looking at our emotional state at any given time, we have the opportunity to think back on our experiences, to see emotional responses are our own. Maybe some of them are unconsciously based on trauma responses. And which of them seem foreign? It takes time, but with enough self-awareness, we can figure out what belongs to us and what belongs to others. We can peacefully release external energy with light and care. This is how we more seamlessly come into ourselves for who we are in this lifetime. Labels and identities are fleeting. If you wish to call yourself an empath or any other thing, do it. Nearly everyone has empathetic capability and potential. If you feel as though you are experiencing empathy to a greater ability than most others, why not use the term? It can be empowering and affirming. The same goes for other terms that a person uses in their life. Ultimately, this card encourages us to examine the labels we use and why we use them, their influence on others, and how accurately our proclaimed identities fit our current incarnation and life lessons. Yeah, so 22, examining self-identity, which is cool. I really like, you know, going within, like that has been really a major part of my journey. So in the beginning of my journey, I was actually addicted. I was addicted to many things. I was addicted to lifestyles that didn't serve my greatest and highest good. I was addicted to opioids. I really liked downers, and had an addiction to things that stimulated my mind and helped me not feel. So there's a lot of things that I've had to overcome, you know, just as myself, and and within, and having to go within to really address where, you know, I was lacking was really difficult, but nonetheless it got me to where I am now. And I would say that examining my self identity was the key to my growth. Like, you, everybody, me, you, anybody, our parents, we all grow up with, you know, dynamics, and you know, we all grow up with thoughts that are not our own, you know, which is kind of trippy to think about, because it's like, how are thoughts not my own? Well, you're programmed to think certain things in certain types of ways and to feel about those things, based on how you were raised, your surroundings, you know, like everything has a factor. So it's really going within to understand, like, hey, what of that did I learn along the way, you know, that is mine, about me, and what did I learn along the way that is not mine, that you know, was programmed into my mind to make me believe that that is who I am, because actually it's not who you are. And there was a point in time I was really angry, and you know, maybe the drugs had something to do with that, but I fought, and I was very defensive and living in defense mode, you know, when really it's now I'm living in offense. I'm living in my divine feminine nature, well balanced with my masculine energies. I know who I am, like, and I think that is the greatest gift that anybody can give to themselves and to others that surround them, is to be fully authentic and who you are within, unapologetically. And when you are going through that phase and examining yourself and figuring out, who am I really, you're gonna lose some people along the way, because not a lot of people are gonna like the new you, and fuck them, big fuck them, because at the end of the day, the people who are meant to be along your journey, your tribe, will love you for exactly who you are, no matter what it is. And you know, I think that a lot of times that we, you know, kind of push down some parts of ourselves because we're afraid that it's not going to be accepted in society. And who gives a fuck, you know? Like, society what? Like, we are society, like we build a society, you know, and society is really, yeah, it's a collective, but like, who are you surrounded by? Like, at the end of the day, we have all these social norms, and I feel like there's these so many things and people and places and things that are accepted and not accepted because of social media. It makes it seem like it's so normal, you know, to be this type of way, when it's really like, that's not the only way there is to be. Like, I know a lot of people go on social media and they see all these other people and they start comparing themselves, and it's like, nah, you don't have to compare yourself to those motherfuckers, because at the end of the day, it's who you know who you are and what energy do you give to this world. And as long as you stay where you at with that, you know, you keep moving with the good of all and harm to none, and put your best foot forward, you will always succeed. You follow your journey, you follow your path, you follow what God has ordained for your life, everything will align. And the only way to do that is by knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, you need to know who you are. You need to figure it out. And if you don't know how to figure it out, I've actually have a workshop through Elevated Workshops, where it's a program that gives you 6 weeks of personal development and guidance. And if you guys want access to it, just DM me, on Instagram, Pouch6, and I'll give it to you guys for free. It's not yet released to the public, so I'm really excited about it. But yeah, if y'all need help, I'm here. I'm always here to help. I know how hard it is. I know what it's like to feel like you're alone. I know what it's like to feel like you don't know who you are anymore, or that who you are is not accepted, or that, you're going to be judged for being who you are. Like, I know how that shit feels. Like, I already know. So, yeah, I'm here to help. And if you guys want it, I'm here. If you don't want it, then don't. Like, it is what it is. But anyways, let's get into these topics. So I wrote it down because these topics are like, I wish I could smoke my bong right now, but we can't smoke in this studio. So I'll smoke my bong with you guys afterwards. But these topics are download straight from Moneybag Mine. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to talk to you guys about when I came here to Pouch 6. Like, when I originally made the appointment to come in, and last night as I was meditating, I was downloaded to talk to you guys about the journey and overcoming false beliefs about yourself. So we'll start, with overcoming false beliefs about yourself. I think that's a really good start, because I kind of talked to you guys already about my backstory of battling opioid addiction, alcohol, and toxic behaviors. So how does one overcome that? Well, let's just get it right into it. I actually can't even tell you, because I overdosed. Right before I moved to California, I was hospitalized, and shortly after that, once I got out of the hospital, I decided that I was going to take my own life. And a lot of you guys are probably like, why the fuck? I still am like, why the fuck? But I did at that time. I was so in a space that I can't even fathom at this point in my timeline. Like, I just can't even imagine wanting to hurt myself. I love myself so much, and I learned to love myself by reprogramming my mind. I literally dropped everything I knew about myself, because literally, okay, when I went to it, it's like, okay, so what is your mindset? Like, what is the mindset of someone who wants to kill themselves? Like, what the fuck? What brought you there? Well, I really just genuinely did not like who I was. I didn't like my circumstances. Nothing about my life made me excited. Point A, why I did drugs and indulged in toxic behaviors like partying and drinking and all that stuff. So, like, growing up in Chicago, like, I had access to all the underground raves. I had access to all the juke parties. And if you don't know what juke is, you better get down, llama. Get down, llama. Let me stop fucking around. But I had access to these places and things and people that didn't serve my greatest and highest good, and I indulged in it. And there came a point in time where I was like, fuck this, I'm not happy with life. Like, I would rather be dead. And so I took every bar of Xanax that I owned and put it down my throat, and somehow I'm still here. I don't really know what happened. I do know that I woke up, and I then knew that I had a mission and purpose for life, and God was like, fuck no. Fuck no. You got a mission, and I'm not going to let you stampede on what I had set for your destiny because you feel some type of way about yourself. Like, shorty, get it together. And I was like, all right. So I packed my shit, moved to Cali, and I got it together. I dropped everything. I went completely sober, and I've been sober since. I have not, I haven't backtracked at all, bro. Like, and I'm so fucking proud of myself, because there were so many times, man, I was like, I could really use a Xanax right now. But, I reprogrammed my mind. And thank you to Dr. Joe Dispenza and Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and Abraham Hicks, all their teachings, bro. Like, man, like, they deserve so much credit for the reprogramming of my mind, because I didn't know where to start. I didn't have any examples in my life. I didn't have nobody in my life who had what I envisioned for myself, because in my head, I was worthy of so much more. I was worthy of being a billionaire and living that lifestyle, you know what I mean? But I didn't know how to get there. I didn't have nobody in my life who owned businesses. I didn't have nobody in my life who did this or that. I didn't have nobody in my life who was even remotely even happy, you know what I mean? So it's like, how do I get happy? You feel me? Like, how do I, Brittany, get happy? And I was like, I'm gonna find mentors who have done it. I'm gonna find mentors who have helped other people. And that's what led me to Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he is one of the people who I 100% believe in, because not only does he have the evidence, the scientific data to match his teachings, but it worked. I lived through it. I'm living through it. I know it works because I did it and I'm here now. And my mind, bro, like, it's not the same. Even back in 2020 when we first met, bro, back in 2020, like, I was still learning. And man, 2020 was a season in itself, and I think a lot of people were forced into learn about themselves during that time. But man, oh man, that's when I knew 2020 was a shift for me. Starting Higher Talk was that shift for me. Like, yo, you're very wise. What you went through, you're meant to help others get through. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy overcoming anxiety. It's not easy overcoming depression. It's not easy overcoming your circumstances when all you want to do is hurt yourself. It's not easy. And I give so much love and light to all of those who are battling something that they never talk about, their family doesn't know about. I give so much love and gratitude for you guys, because without those hard times, just remember that you're meant to learn something through that. And it seems so treacherous right now, but it's gonna serve you in ways that, bro, my downfall served me in ways that I can't even, like, I wouldn't even know what my life would be like if I didn't have that wisdom. You know what I mean? Because, like, God was like, look, I'm gonna put you through some shit, but you're going to learn so you could teach others. And that's what I'm here to do. So that's why Higher Talk began, because I was like, fuck, how do I teach others? I'm a writer. You know what I mean? I don't talk out loud. Even in therapy, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to talk to you, bitch. I don't know you. You can't relate to me because you grew up having resources and having both parents in your house and having, food on the table. Like, there was times where, my mom, she's a single mom of 3, you know what I mean? So it's like, my mom struggled a lot, raising us, and she did a remarkable job. Like, yes, we all have our traumas and stuff like that we go through, because nobody's perfect, right? But my mom is like, I look at her now and I'm like, because there ain't no way I could have 3 kids by this age. The fuck? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So, like, I have so much understanding for, the process and the wisdom that comes along with it. So overcoming, like, reprogramming your mind, it takes a lot of dedication, self-discipline, self-motivation. And motivation's a myth, but it does help in the beginning. I also, I've always been really athletic and an athlete. Like, a lot of people wouldn't know that I did drugs because I was an athlete. A lot of people wouldn't know that I did a lot of drugs as an athlete during, like, I was track. I love track. I did cheerleading. I did any sport that, you could think of. I did it high as fuck. Like, that shit is toxic, but yo, I did that shit and I was really good at it. So I've always been an athlete. So I was like, when I moved to California, I was like, okay, I'm dropping everything. I flushed everything down the toilet. Anything that I had stashed away that my mom did not find, I brought it with me to Cali, which is like, why the fuck? Like, I thought you said you were going to commit. And when I got there were times where I was like, fuck, I wanted to relapse so bad. I wanted to relapse so bad, because not only that, I moved to California to rebuild the relationship with my dad. And that was in it itself of one of the biggest reasons why I hated myself so much growing up, was because I felt like I didn't have a father figure in my life to teach me to protect myself, and in ways that, my mom taught me how to protect myself spiritually, but I needed my dad there, and I was like, yo, like, I have this animosity towards my dad because he wasn't there for me. So I was like, you know what, like, the first step of reprogramming your mind is not only self-forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself for what you put yourself through and the decisions you've made, because you don't know what you don't know until you know that you don't know something, if that makes sense. So, like, I didn't know that what I was living through was because it was so deeply rooted in my validation. Like, I wanted to be validated by my father, and by my mother. And that just, it wasn't a reality for me. It's not something that, I grew up like, oh my God, you did so good. Like, yeah, like, no, it was like, you need to do better. Do better, do better. Like, you need to push yourself to do better, because nobody is coming to fucking save you. And I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, yo, like, having a father figure in my life is actually really important. And I don't, have any sort of animosity towards my parents for not being together. Like, I forgave them, because, like, at the end of the day, like, we have to remember that everybody got their own lives, even our own parents. You feel me? So it's like, there's a reason why they ain't together. And, I did choose them to be my parents. Before I came into this realm, I selected them. And there is something, that both of them were able to bring to me, and that is who I am. That is the power I have within. I was born, with such, how do I put it? Like royalty. Like, there's something about me that is royal, that is meant to be shared. And not dying was number one for me. Like, oh, okay, hold on, there's a bigger reason for my life than what I think. And number two is, like, the way that I'm able to impact people mentally and spiritually. I know, like, okay, there was something that I was like, okay, there's something else missing here. And I'm like, I need to heal something really deep that I'm not learning. Like, there's something I'm not learning here. And I was like, oh shit, like, I want to rebuild the relationship with my dad, because I was a daddy's girl. Like, my dad, when I was younger, when he did come into my life, because I didn't know him when I was really young, but at a certain age, I was introduced to him with my mom, and I spent time with him. I would go over there in the summertime into California to visit him. And as I got older, and I started working, I was like, man, fuck that. I'm not going to Cali to kick it. Like, I'm trying to get to this motherfucking bag. Like, I got goals to achieve. And, like, why the fuck am I going to go kick it with somebody I don't even like that much? My dad. And it's nothing against him. It's just like, he's a great man. He just wasn't a great man for me. And he did a lot for me and showed me, a lot, growing up in my younger adult years. But as I grew into this adult, I noticed a lot of things that I did not resonate with. And so, being in his household, I was like, yo, this is really going to push me to really understand who he is, because there's just some things I can't get past. You know what I mean? Like, I was having a difficult time, and I was like, yo, I got to do it. I got to do it. So I did it. And yo, what saved me was, I worked at Chipotle at the time. I transferred my job. I just transferred to a store in Cali that was near my dad's house. And then I stayed focused on the gym, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, I woke up at 3 a.m., skateboarded 2.5 miles to my local Gold's Gym, worked out, skated to a bus stop type shit, right? And would take the bus to work type shit. Like, I was like hyper addicted to fixing myself, and the only way I knew how to do that was to stay focused on my insecurities, which was my body. I was bullied growing up. You know what I mean? I wasn't this pretty girl. I was hairy. I was always called like a little boy and like got made fun of because I was hairy and had like a mustache and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, shit, I am hairy. Y'all wish y'all could grow eyebrows like this. A lot of men wish they could grow a mustache. You feel me? Like, y'all wish y'all had the abundance of hair I have. Like, there's so many people nowadays that, have to pay to get eyebrows. They have to pay to have eyelashes. There's men out there who have to pay to get their fucking mustache filled in because it's spotted. And now I laugh at it, but at the time I was bullied for that shit. So I had a lot of like insecurities, and I was like, yo, like my body, like I've always been called, like I was really skinny growing up. So I always got made fun of for being skinny and shit like that. And I was like, how do I reprogram my mind? I was like, okay, first, drop the drugs. 2, fix what you feel like needs to be fixed. And to me, that was my body. It was, I didn't feel happy in my own skin. You know what I mean? So I was like, how can I feel happy? Well, I found my love for the gym. And bro, I still go to the gym every fucking day. Every day. I mean, now I do different types of workouts and all that type of stuff. Like I do boxing, yoga, Pilates. Y'all already know. I just be on Goma all the time. You feel me? But the gym, man, the gym to this day has been my savior. Like that iron between the grip of my palm. Like there's just something about it that allowed me to remember who I was and release what I was not. With every time I achieved a new goal, I had something to celebrate. Every time I was able to lift heavier, do the Stairmaster for 5 minutes longer, do anything, I was congratulating myself and really started giving myself praise and thanking myself for the dedication that I had. And then it came into, okay, now I'm working out. Well, I need to take care of my body, and it comes more than just working out. You got to take care of that diet too. So I started addressing how I was raised. And I was like, fuck, like I wasn't raised to live healthy. You feel me? Like I was raised to live in my means. And by that, I mean like buy what you can. Like there was no organic, none of that shit. Fuck, like that shit was shit. Organic what? You better go ahead and get that $1. Yeah, I know that organic is $5 and it's probably better for you, but that's $1. So go get that. And yeah, it's made with a whole bunch of like bioengineered food and all that shit, or fucking whatever the fuck, but y'all know what the fuck I mean. Yeah, it's made with all that, but like go get that because that's $1 and that's 5. That's how I was raised. So I had to reprogram that, and I took the money I was making in my job, my hourly wage job, and I invested it into myself. I invested it into therapy. I invested it into eating better. I invested it into the gym. I invested it into things that fulfilled my inner child. There was so many things that I felt like I neglected because I fell into drugs at such a young age. I started, partying in 7th grade, doing, drinking and partying and all that. And then 8th grade, I really, really like took a deep dip in my journey. Like that's where it really started. In freshman, sophomore, junior year, high school, just straight downhill. Senior year, I was lucky. I was in school suspension most of senior year because I probably wouldn't have graduated because I fucking hated going to school. Like one thing about me is I'm a ditch and I'm gonna go kick it downtown. I'm gonna take the train. I'm gonna hop on the train. I'm gonna go boo with my homies in the city, and I'm gonna do shit that I probably should not be doing. You know what I mean? So like there were so many things that I was like, yo, like you gotta get it together. So that kind of leads us back to our second topic of the day, which is the journey. So when you're reprogramming your mind, you gotta really go within. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna cry a lot. You're probably gonna want to kill yourself at one point because it's like, why the fuck, and I say that like loosely, like I don't mean like you're probably gonna want to do that. Like no, like you want to kill that old self is what I mean by that. Like you want to be like, when you are reprogramming your mind, the dedication to be that new you is so prevalent that the old you has to die. It has to. metaphorically speaking. Like, there's no way that you could become the new you holding on to who you used to be. And so, yeah, that led me on my journey. And I got this download last night when I was meditating, and I want to share it with you guys. Sometimes we're taken on a voyage to where we think we want to go, just to get there and learn it's not where we're always meant to be. Just because we want something doesn't mean it's meant for us to have. The universe will place us exactly where we are destined to be, to learn what we must in order to get to where it is God has ordained us to go. I think that, that is like the universe, God, source, whatever you want to fucking call it. It strategically places us in certain scenarios through our life that give us the wisdom that we need to achieve the mission that he has ordained for our life. You know what I mean? And it's like, what do you mean when you say God ordained? Like, I mean like destiny. Like, nobody can take this shit, no matter fucking how hard. There's no destiny swapping in this bitch. You can try as hard as you fucking want. You cannot change what God has ordained for your life. Like, that is, your destiny is yours and yours only, and nobody can take that. You know what I mean? No weapons formed against me shall prosper type shit. You know what I mean? It's all strategically orchestrated for your divine guidance, your growth. You are placed exactly where you need to be to achieve what you need to achieve. And sometimes, like me, I get so caught up, like, oh my God, I want to do this, and I will go and I don't care what gets in my way. You know what I mean? And I noticed that when it's not in flow, it's gotta go. And it took me a while to learn that, because I was so focused on, no, I know I can have this, so I'm gonna get it type shit. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna stop me. I don't care. Like, nah, I'm gonna get this shit. And I got it. And I was like, man, I don't even really want this shit, to be honest. Like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. You know what I mean? This is not the feeling I thought I was gonna feel once I had this. Like, when I made my first 6 figures, I thought I was going to feel on top of the world. And I was only led to feel like this is still not enough. Like, oh my God, I thought 6 figures would change my life. Bro, it did. For sure. But like, not in the way that I once thought it would. Like, now, as a 6-figure earner consistently for years and years, I'm like, some people are like, oh my God, 10,000 a month can really change my life. And I'm like, 20,000 a month is still not enough. 200,000 a month, still not enough. Why? Because I have such a big mission, and the amount of people I want to help, and I know that money's a tool, and I speak in money because I feel like everybody can relate to money and what they think it will provide. Like, everybody goes on that journey, like, oh, let me get to the bag, let me get to this, you know what I mean? Like, once I have the money, I know I'll feel happier. Once I have the money, yeah. When people say money is the root of evil, it is not the root to happy, whatever the fuck they say about money and not it giving you happiness, they're fucking lying. Because I'm telling you right now, once I started making money, I'm telling you all right now, money made me happier. And it's not money in itself that made me happier. It's everything that I was able to provide for myself with that money. Money is a tool. And I have a deep understanding of money now that, at one point I was just like, let's get to the bag, money bag season. You know what I mean? Like, hustle, hustle, hustle. But like, I was hustling and I was making money, especially as a dancer. Like, I make money as a dancer. I make 6 figures a year as a dancer. And it's like, a lot of people are like, oh my God. First of all, yeah, I'm a stripper. Who cares? Like, a lot of people see that part of me, and they don't realize that I actually owned companies before I even started dancing. The only reason why I started dancing was because of the money and the freedom. Like, where else can you go and you only work? I think last year I made 100 something thousand, and I only worked 110 days. And out of those 110 days, maybe 3-4 hours so if you do the math, like, a lot of people would pray to have that kind of money and that type of freedom. Like, I had time freedom, financial freedom, all types of freedom. I show up when I want and I leave when I want. Dancing's so underestimated, and I feel like there's a stigma put on dancers, not only just cannabis. Like, me being a stoner and a dancer, it's like, I'm just asking to be hated, but I don't give a fuck because I be making that bag. You feel me? And that bag helped me elevate everything, bro. Everything. Because y'all know I started with my businesses. I started in cannabis industry independently, going through different grows, different extraction labs, learning this, doing that. And while the cannabis industry taught me a lot, it didn't provide me the financial freedom nor the time freedom that I seeked within my life. And when I started dancing, actually my friend, she got me into it. She told me she would buy me my heels. And I was like, man, I don't know. I got my businesses, Elevated Productions is doing their first event. She's like, well, you need money for that, don't you? And I was like, yeah, but I know it'll come. She's like, well, why don't you try dancing? Bro, first night I danced, I made like $3,000. Absolutely. I never gave it up. I'm sorry, what? In 3 hours, I made $3,000? Excuse me. I used to have to work a month to earn that. I made that in 3 hours. Yeah, wasn't going to give it up. And I saw it. I was like, oh my God. A lot of people, when they see dancers, a lot of dancers, some of them don't have their way out. You know what I mean? And I hope to inspire other dancers, to really take their money and invest it. Because for me, when I went into dancing, I went in with a different mindset. I went in with that reprogrammed mind, that healed mind. Like, yo, all this money is gonna invest. Like, I invested in real estate. I invested in mentorship. Y'all know I've been a part of Grant Cardone's mentorship since 2018, and he's ultimately helped me, 10x my business from where it was, from being not known at all to now being, pretty well known. I feel like a lot of people actually recognize Elevated Productions and Vibrite and Money Bags, they recognize me. And I'm not at the level yet. I'm not like clout chasing or anything like that. Like, I'm not that type of person. I like to be in the back end. I'm an off-grid baddie. Like, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get the fuck up out of the city. Real shit. Like, my goals since I was young, before I even started drugs, since I was very young, was to live in rural area and have land and grow crops and have a farm and be able to be self-sufficient in that way. And so when I got into dancing, I knew, okay, this money not only can help me build my business that's going to give me the freedom to now live off grid, where I ain't got to show up nowhere to get the money. You know what I mean? I just got to show up for the people, and that's will reward me in ways that I can't even, money can never fulfill me in the ways that giving energy and helping people will. And I know that without money, I can't put my stamp in this society, because so many people are focused on money. So I'm like, okay, well, everybody love money, right? I love money. You love money. We all love money, because we know what money can provide. And anybody who says money is the root of evil, money does not mean happiness, they're fucking lying to you. They're lying to you. Don't believe those motherfuckers, because the motherfuckers probably is broke. They is probably broke. And y'all, I make a pretty good living, you feel me? Like, I do very well for myself. I'm only 26 and I do very, very well for myself. But I know that money can help impact lives. And that's why I'm like, yo, dancing helps me be able to focus on just the people in my business. Like, my businesses are not about the money. Like, I think a lot of y'all are learning that. And, I feel like at one point in time, you guys probably thought, oh my gosh, she only cares about money. I remember at one point in time, I was trying to put everybody onto crypto, and y'all thought I was trying to scam you. And I'm still laughing at y'all faces. Everybody who doubted crypto, I'm laughing in your fucking face. Everybody who said that I was scamming them, I was trying to scam them, and I was a part of a pyramid scheme because I was trying to teach y'all about crypto. Look at you now. What have you learned? What have you learned? Because, poor, like, living in a poor mindset is passing over opportunities repeatedly. And a lot of people have done that. Me, I'm saying yes to every opportunity. Every opportunity. Why? Because in every opportunity, there's something to learn. In every opportunity, you can grow from it. In every opportunity, you will meet somebody who's more, who might be more aligned to where God has ordained you to go. That is your tribe. And if you say no to opportunities, you keep passing up opportunities. Not only are you passing up opportunity to grow, financially. You're passing up the opportunity to grow spiritually, because there might be somebody along that opportunity that you say yes to that's going to teach you shit that, like, I took the opportunity, bro. Like, if Vince never invited me to when I moved to San Diego, I moved there for an extraction lab. They kept not passing the labs to get their fucking license. So would that leave me jobless, right? Because, like, there's no lab, So when I was sent down to San Diego to extract distillate and the lab's not passing, I met Vince, and I was in such a point in my life where my sister was paying for a room. I couldn't even afford $400 a month for a room for rent. My sister gave me that for 2 months. She gave me rent for 2 months, and she said, I can help you this much, but I can't help you more than that because I don't have it like that. My sister ain't got it like that either. You know what I mean? So it's like, just her telling me that, I was like, okay. And then boom, first day I went to San Diego, I met Vince. I met him at his, he had a pop-up shop that was in collaboration with the barbershop. At the time, he did CBD, and I went there and I met with him, and he talked to me about crypto, and he's like, yo, I would love to give you a free ticket to come to the seminar we're having. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 days after, we had met. And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll go. I went, and I never looked back from crypto. And the only reason why I was able to get started in crypto was because I didn't have the money for the services that everybody said I was trying to scam them on. I actually was gifted the money by somebody who's now in my life and who I love and cherish, him and his entire family, Javante. Shout out to Javante for getting me started with crypto, because without him investing in me, he told me, I see it in you, and that's why I want to pay for you to start this program. And he did my initial startup costs. He paid for it. I didn't know this man. I met him at one of these meetings, a team meeting, that after the event, I went to a team meeting and was starting to learn with Anointed and Millionaire McCoy and Vince, and me and Javante were both there at the same level. And he's like, nah, I can help you. And me, I have a hard time accepting help. And I was like, all right, whatever. So he helped me. And bro, I'm just saying this to say, don't fucking pass over opportunities, because those opportunities are going to lead you exactly where you need to be. I've been in the crypto space for now how many years? Like, I've been, and then not only that, in the foreign exchange market, I've been day trading, and like lately I kind of fell off with it. I ain't even gonna front with y'all. Like, I fell off with it because it does take an investment, you know what I mean? And I was so focused on investing my money in Vibrite and all this other stuff that I kind of neglected that part of me, but I always invested in crypto. And that's why I'm laughing at y'all faces now, because everything is now digitized, even the US dollar. And if you don't know that the US dollar is digitized, where the fuck are you? And if you don't know about what's going down in the financial space, where the fuck are you? Because right now the US dollar, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all think the US dollar is all that in a bag of chips, and I'm telling you that them chips is toxic. Them chips is toxic. So, it just goes to show, like, your journey is, it shows you a lot of, it's gonna teach you. I think that sometimes a lot of us, like even me, because I'm so stubborn, that I need to be shown exactly what I don't want. Like, my parents showed me exactly what I don't want in a relationship in order for me to step into my divine energies and balance that and be ready for marriage and to have kids and to have a family and all of that, because I am that now. Like, I am an Empress rising, and to claim that and to say I have my wings is like, some of y'all, that's just gonna go right over your head. But I'm talking spiritually now. Like, there's just so many things that I was shown that I knew, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I don't want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so I know what I don't want, which leads you to learn more about what you do want and what do you want. And, as I close out this higher talk today, and I know I kind of rambled a lot, and I feel like, there are just so many like little things that I say here and there, to give you guys insight. But I really just wanted to come on here to say, and show you guys that, whatever you want in this world is possible. And if you decide to believe in yourself and drop any other beliefs about you from surrounding energies, everything you want in this life will be yours. You have to have the discipline, the consistency, and the love within in order to have it. Nothing outside of you will bring that to you. And nothing outside of you is going to make you happy. No money, no this, no that. Nothing outside of you is going to make you happy. That was my biggest lesson. I learned so much about how unhappy people were. I learned how to be happy because myself, for one, was very unhappy. But then I looked around at who was surrounding me, and I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of the motherfuckers, they probably gonna watch this and be like, I used to know her. You don't know me. You don't know me. You knew who I was. You knew my darkness. And I'm no longer living in that. I live in my light, and I transmute all darkness to light. Like, I did that from within. So, like, when people send me now, like, evil eye and stuff like that, it's like, man, like, I can't even imagine hating on somebody. Because even when I hated myself, I never hated on anybody else. Like, that's the trippy part about it. It's like, when you really, like, a lot of y'all claim to be happy, but you'll look at somebody else who has something that you want and not realize that you're only being shown that so you can have that example to show you that it is possible. Instead, you hating on it, which is weird to me. You know what I mean? Because I've always seen it as like, you know, once you go within and you really find that inner peace, that inner healing, that all that of which is you, once you go within and really get in tune with who you are, bruh, hating, some people are born to hate. That's some people's job. Remember that. So, because if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing something right. All right? Like, you ain't doing shit. Like, people are always gonna hate, you know what I mean? Because it's a projection of what they have within. And so, you know, I love that I went through all this darkness throughout my life. I absolutely love that I have cuts on my wrist from self-harm, because every time I look down at it, I remember how dark I used to be. I remember what it took to outgrow that. I remember what it took to go within. And there's nobody or nothing that can get in my way, because I know who I am. You feel me? Like, I know deep within who I am and what I'm sent here to do. And that is only a conversation that I've had with me and my ancestors, me and my gods, me and my higher self only know that. And, you know, there's some things I still don't know, you know, but I know that I'm on the right track. Why? Because I overcame this darkness. I overcame the harm. I overcame all of that I had within me. All of that. There's so many people in so many different circumstances, and not all of you guys come from where I come from. Not all of you guys have self-harm. Not all of you guys have depression. Not all of you guys face anxiety. Not all of you guys have OCD. Not all of you guys have PTSD. Not everybody has everything, but there are a lot of you who do, and I hope to inspire you to change in ways that you once thought were fucking unattainable, because I'm telling you right now, you're looking at a living proof of what it is to go within and be at one with love. And it's like unconditional love. And when you accept unconditional love from yourself and understand and forgive yourself unconditionally, because there's sometimes I know we look back and we're like, why the fuck did I do that? Why the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to question ourselves and to get down on ourselves and to feel like some type of way about ourselves. But at the end of the day, when you really go within and you look at yourself and you say, I love you unconditionally, I forgive you, then your life will change. And then you will also be able to project more of that into the world. More love, more unconditionality, because at the end of the day, that's what everybody needs. And I feel like a lot of us grow up with so many conditions that we're given things under conditions. Everything is conditional, even, you know, through grade school and shit. Yeah, you do the work, you get a good grade, you get praise from your teacher. Man, fuck them teachers, fuck that grade, and fuck the fucking work that they're giving you, because none of that shit is going to help you, you know, at the end of the day, unless you want to be a fucking doctor. And if you do, I would recommend holistic. Go holistic. there are some things that I do feel like, yeah, we, can have teachers and mentors and all of that. But at the end of the day, if you don't go within and find love within yourself and be able to transmute those negative energies that you have within, so you are better able to project, a more loving, a more caring and empathetic, vibration into this world, then it's like, you need to sit the fuck down and figure it out. Sit the fuck down and figure out how to love yourself, because without that love within, nothing else will prosper. And yeah, wow, guys, higher talk today is pretty juicy. And I know that we kind of went on this rant, and I'm running out of time here at Pouch 6 Studios, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me. I want to say I love you, and that no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. No matter what you're facing, you're not alone. And I'm here for you. And anytime you need somebody, I'm here. Just DM me, Moneybagsbrit on Instagram. Like, I don't care. Annoy me if you want. I mean, actually, don't do that, because I will talk shit to you. But but I'm here for you. And, I appreciate all the love and support you guys have given me along my journey, and the unconditionality, you guys sticking with me. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Higher Talk, Season 2, Episode 2, with your host, Moneybagsbrit.
If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. I push through the struggle and level up out of my pain. Cause I got a fire inside me.